Bienvenidos a Sentir Espírita.
Welcome to Sentir Espírita. Today we will talk, among other things, about the key differences between Spiritism and Spiritualism. I have already mentioned them to you before on so many occasions, but we are going to leave here this illustrative table that I am going to publish on my social network so that you can access it whenever you want. Spiritualism and Spiritism. Spiritualism is based on broad beliefs without a specific or common doctrine, while Spiritism is a doctrine based on a revealed teaching with clear and defined foundations, focused on moral and spiritual progress. It does not promote magical, esoteric, or ritual practices. If you are a Spiritist, then you are within Spiritism, but you are also part of Spiritualism. Now, being a Spiritualist does not imply that you are a Spiritualist. Graphically, this space in yellow would be Spiritualism, a current opposite to materialism. It covers many of the philosophies that we know and that believe in the existence of the spirit and a world beyond material life. Spiritism is something more specific, based on the spiritual codification of the revelation of the Spirit of Truth. And that was codified by Master Allan Kardec in the Spiritist books. Every person who believes in the spiritual world is part of Spiritualism. But not every spiritualist is a Spiritist. Pierre Gayton Lay-Marie was a disciple of Allan Kardec until his disembodiment. After the departure of the Master, he assumed the custody of his legacy with the support of his widow, Amélie Gabrielle Budet, who fully trusted him to preserve and spread her husband's work. However, he made modifications to Kardec's writings, introducing inaccuracies that over time led to distortions in the original doctrine. On the other hand, Jean-Baptiste Rousting, a contemporary and connoisseur of Kardec, also influenced the interpretation of Spiritism. However, he promoted a vision that exalted the image of Christ from a Catholic perspective, something that Spiritism has always rejected. Alongside him, figures such as Gabriel Delane and Léon Denis stood out as some of the greatest followers of the doctrine. However, by deviating from the guidelines of the Spiritist revelation, they ceased to be faithful to the original principles of Spiritism codified by Kardec. Mr. Léon Denis developed a current known as philosophical Spiritism, which places special emphasis on the moral and philosophical dimension of Spiritism, promoting the search for spiritual truth and ethics. However, this current moves away from the balance that Allan Kardec established between the scientific, philosophical, and religious aspects of Spiritism. An example of this is his assertion that animals, including pets, are part of the cycle of reincarnation, an idea that is not found in the Spiritist doctrine codified by Kardec. Gabriel Delane, another disciple of Kardec, formed a doctrine called scientific Spiritism, prioritizing the scientific validation of Spiritist phenomena such as the immortality of the soul and reincarnation, but neglecting the ethical and moral aspect. We have reached a critical point in history, when Adolfo Bezerra de Menezes met Pierre Gayton Lay-Marie, a disciple of Kardec, and received from him the original texts of the codification with the purpose of spreading them in Portuguese for Brazil and later, in Spanish for Latin America. However, this event marked the beginning of a deep corruption of the doctrine, giving rise to serious adulterations of Spiritism, which over time, spread like a metastasis throughout the continent. When Spiritism arrived in South America, Joaquín Trincado emerged, founder of the current that he himself called Spiritism Light and Truth. Trincado promoted an autonomous ritualism with a strong emphasis on magnetism, spiritual education unrelated to Kardec's doctrine, and social reform. In his approach, he rejected several fundamental concepts of Kardec, such as the universality of spiritualist principles and the importance of spiritual guides. Chico Xavier and Divaldo Franco are prominent figures in Brazilian spiritualism, known for their mediumistic communications and psychographies. However, their approach incorporates elements foreign to Kardec's original teaching, such as the idea of spiritual hierarchies, the syncretism characteristic of Afro-Brazilian religions, where Santeria, indigenous rites, and Catholic fervor merge into a single practice, and descriptions of the afterlife that differ significantly from the revelation received by Kardec. Spiritism, codified by Allan Kardec, is a doctrine revealed by the Spirit of Truth, based on pure moral and spiritual principles, without influences from other beliefs or practices. Anyone who deviates from these guidelines ceases to be a Spiritist, even if he or she continues to establish contact with disembodied beings through rituals. True Spiritism follows the original principles revealed by the Spirit of Truth, without syncretism or mixing with other beliefs or practices. The doctrine does not force anyone to abandon their ancestral beliefs, rituals, or spiritual experiences. However, those who practice them cannot call themselves Spiritists, since this term was revealed to Allan Kardec to designate those who receive moralization through the books of the Spiritist codification, bringing to humanity the revelation of the spirits.
Sentir espíritu.